Feeling lost in life is one of the most human experiences you can face, yet it's one of the most paralyzing. You wake up every morning and go through motions that feel meaningless, as if the world is moving around you while you're stuck in place. Tony Robbins often says that life isn't about avoiding the pain or discomfort of feeling lost, it's about using that discomfort as a compass. It's not a curse, it's a signal. The moment you feel lost is the moment your subconscious is telling you something essential about your inner desires and unmet needs. Most people try to ignore it, distract themselves with social media, TV, or even work, but Robbins emphasizes the importance of confronting that void. Feeling lost is actually a gift because it gives you the opportunity to ask fundamental questions. Who am I really? What do I truly want? And am I living in alignment with those values? These questions are not just philosophical, they are the blueprint for transformation. Tony explains that clarity doesn't come from thinking harder, it comes from asking the right questions, focusing on what you can control, and taking decisive action in areas that excite and energize you. When you feel lost, your energy feels low, your mind is foggy, and your decisions seem meaningless, but this is exactly the stage where you have the chance to redirect your life's trajectory by creating a compelling vision of what you want to experience and who you want to become. One of the first things Tony Robbins highlights in moments of feeling lost is the importance of physical and emotional states. Too often, people sit in despair, thinking solutions are purely mental, but Robbins insists that state management, the process of controlling your body and mind, is the gateway to clarity. Your physiology influences your psychology. If you're slouching, breathing shallowly, and moving slowly, your brain interprets this as weakness, indecision, or hopelessness. Conversely, changing your posture, breathing deeply, and moving with purpose immediately shifts your mental state. Tony teaches that emotion is created by motion, the way you move your body creates the way you feel inside. So when you feel lost, the first intervention isn't in your thoughts, it's in your state. Stand tall, raise your chest, smile, breathe deeply, and engage in movement that invigorates you. This simple act may seem trivial, but it signals to your subconscious that you are ready to engage with life rather than surrender to it. Robbins emphasizes that these small shifts create momentum, and momentum is the antidote to feeling stuck. Every great breakthrough begins with a change in state, because your mind cannot generate solutions when your body is signaling defeat. Action precedes clarity, and clarity grows out of consistent, purposeful action. Another principle Tony teaches is that feeling lost is often a symptom of a lack of contribution. Humans are wired for meaning, and when life feels meaningless, it's usually because we're disconnected from our ability to contribute beyond ourselves. Robbins says that when people feel lost, the antidote is to focus on giving, helping, or serving in ways that are authentic to their strengths. Contribution doesn't have to be grand, it can be as simple as mentoring someone, volunteering for a cause, or even offering kindness in everyday interactions. This shift of focus from self-absorption to contribution changes your internal narrative. Suddenly, life isn't about what you lack or what's missing, it's about how you can create impact. Tony explains that contribution creates fulfillment because it taps into the deeper parts of the human psyche, the parts that hunger for significance, love, and connection. When you feel lost, asking yourself how you can add value to someone else's life provides direction and purpose. Robbins calls this principle the power of giving, and he emphasizes that the energy generated by contribution rebounds into your own life, creating clarity, motivation, and a renewed sense of meaning. Feeling lost can be excruciating, but it's also the perfect signal that your life needs more purpose-driven engagement. Tony Robbins also points out that a major reason people feel lost is because they have disconnected from their dreams. Over time, life's responsibilities, failures, and external pressures push people away from what once ignited their passion. Feeling lost is often the soul's way of crying out for reconnection with its own vision. Robbins insists that clarity is born from asking yourself, what do I want my life to look like? What would I do if fear and uncertainty were irrelevant? This exercise is not about wishful thinking, it's about uncovering what truly excites and motivates you. He encourages people to write down every desire, goal, or dream they've buried, no matter how impractical it may seem. The act of acknowledging these desires creates a roadmap for action. He also stresses the importance of aligning goals with personal values because pursuing something outside your authentic self only leads to more confusion. Tony's interventions often include visualization techniques, helping people immerse themselves in the feeling of having achieved their dreams. This isn't fantasy, it's a neurological rehearsal that programs your brain for possibility and drives real-world action. When you feel lost, reconnecting with your dreams provides a magnetic pull toward life, transforming feelings of aimlessness into a sense of direction and hope. Another critical intervention Tony Robbins emphasizes is the power of decision. People feel lost because they have delayed decisions, clung to uncertainty, or avoided responsibility for their own lives. Robbins asserts that clarity and progress are unlocked the moment you make a committed decision. He often says that it's not the circumstances that determine your life, it's the decisions you make and the actions you take consistently. A decision, unlike a wish or a hope, creates a path forward. Even if the first step is small, it generates momentum. Robbins teaches that when people feel lost, they should identify one decisive action they can take immediately, no matter how minor, to move toward the life they want. It could be making a phone call, enrolling in a course, or setting a personal boundary. The key is to act now, because inaction breeds confusion, doubt, and despair. Decision creates clarity, and clarity fuels confidence. Tony emphasizes that life doesn't require perfection, it requires progress. When you commit to decisive action, you signal to your mind, body, and environment that you are ready to take control of your destiny, even in moments of uncertainty. Robbins also highlights that the company you keep plays a critical role in feelings of being lost. Humans are profoundly influenced by their social environment, and negativity, doubt, or complacency in your circle can amplify confusion and despair. Tony stresses the importance of surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and model the life you aspire to live. When you feel lost, he advises taking inventory of your relationships. Who uplifts you? Who drains you? Who mirrors the vision you want for yourself? He believes that your network should act as a mirror, reflecting possibilities and reinforcing confidence. In addition to relationships, Tony emphasizes learning from mentors, coaches, and role models, as their guidance accelerates clarity. Feeling lost is often a result of isolation, but engaging with people who embody what you want to become creates a sense of accountability and hope. When your environment aligns with your vision, the fog of uncertainty lifts, and you gain a sense of belonging and direction that propels you forward. Another cornerstone of Tony Robbins' approach is mastering your story. People feel lost because they are trapped in limiting narratives about themselves, stories of failure, inadequacy, or bad luck. Robbins teaches that your story is not reality, it's a perspective, and perspective can be changed. Feeling lost is a signal that your current story no longer serves you. He encourages reframing past experiences as lessons, seeing setbacks as feedback rather than proof of limitation, and adopting empowering language when describing yourself and your circumstances. By consciously choosing a new story, one that emphasizes resilience, potential, and growth, you alter your emotional state, motivation, and behavior. Robbins stresses that every transformation begins with the story you tell yourself. When you feel lost, the most critical step is to rewrite your narrative, replace victimhood with empowerment, and see life as an opportunity rather than a punishment. Mastering your story creates an internal environment where clarity, purpose, and direction naturally emerge. Finally, Tony Robbins asserts that the ultimate intervention when feeling lost is to embrace uncertainty with a sense of curiosity and excitement. Life is inherently unpredictable, and attempting to control every outcome only increases feelings of confusion. Feeling lost signals that it's time to expand your perspective, explore possibilities, and take bold action without the guarantee of success. Robbins often reminds people that growth happens outside of comfort zones. By leaning into uncertainty, experimenting, and learning from outcomes, you gradually create momentum, insight, and mastery. Feeling lost is not a permanent state. It's a transitional phase designed to catalyze self-discovery and transformation. The key is to move forward with courage, leverage state management, contribution, decision-making, supportive relationships, a compelling vision, and an empowering story. When you integrate these principles, the fog lifts, and life begins to feel meaningful, guided, and fully alive. Feeling lost becomes a springboard for transformation, and with the strategies Tony teaches, you can move from confusion to clarity, from despair to purpose, and from being lost to being fully in command of your destiny.